Hi, everybody, and welcome to Drive Facebook Live. I'm Tony Whistler, and this is my friend Bill Escalillo. How's it going, Bill?
Great. Hello, everyone out there.
Hey, good to have you. We have a great show today because we have a good friend and a great client, two clients actually, TJ Copeland and his father, Rodney, and they are the owners of Copeland's Garage. Um, And of course, they started the company together, and that's really kind of cool. Tell us a little bit about you guys and your shop, and a little bit about where it's at. Just give us a rundown on the whole shop.
So back in '95, we built our first building here. We now have three buildings. Um, we never expected to be doing what we're doing now. Fairly soon after we started, within a few years, back in '99, we actually went out to California for management success.
Mhm.
And that's when we actually started. Uh, Broke away for a few years because it wasn't really quite engineered for what we were doing as far as, trucks and things like that. But we came back to it just a few years ago, and we've always used things we learned back in '99, as far as processes and savings and things like that. But we came back to it, and it's done us well.
That's awesome. And Rodney, you got anything you want to add?
Well, we never knew, like he said, we never knew what we were getting into when we started this. Originally, when we put the first building up, I put that building up because I was going to be working with one of my brothers-in-law who was a contractor. He needed somebody in a place to repair his equipment. And it has never stopped from there. Where we live, we're in kind of little bit of an agricultural area. There's a lot of farmers around. And they started bringing their equipment to us. And it's never stopped. We've never had a dry day yet.
It's awesome.
That is fantastic. I'd love to ask you guys, if you don't mind, what moved you guys to work together as father and son? A lot of times a father and son doesn't always start the business together. Usually the dad starts it, then the son takes it over. But it sounds like you guys started it together. So I'd love to know how that came about.
Let me say, we weren't in the, we hadn't been in the shop too long. He was working down the local hardware store. And he come to me one day and he says, well, I'm getting through. He says, I want to work here. And I says, you mean I got to stop paying you? And
It's a classic.
he's been right there all the time.
Yeah, we put our first building up to get, we did everything from the groundwork to, taking the trees down that were here, mowing the alders down. We did all the groundwork, all the cement work, putting the building up, everything we did. And we've done that basically for all three buildings. Our most recent building, which we're actually sitting in right now, is 12,500 square feet. We have 100 by 100 shop area in it, and a new customer area and front area, stock room. We have this conference training break room that we're in right now. And the only thing for this building that we did not do was we didn't do the concrete work. We still did all of the earthwork, groundwork, and we were able to do that because our main shop, which this is attached to, was able to run basically without me, having to run it all the time. Our staff was able to do that. And so there again, we've together done, we wouldn't have what we have if it wasn't for both of us.
Right.
That's awesome.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Your friend Jim's saying hello. He's watching right now because he was telling me he just left you guys a couple of nights ago.
Yep. Yeah, he was here about a month ago.
Yeah. Now, when you say we had someone else do the foundations and we did everything else, do you literally mean that you were on the cat digging up the ground or you were framing or see, that's an interesting story because I've heard from a lot of clients who say, yeah, we had it built or I had this done or we did this, but you guys were actually in doing the construction.
I did all the excavation work, back in the summer of 23. Dad hauled between 300 and 400 loads of material with a dump truck that we own. So yeah, we have all the equipment and everything to do it with. We erected the steel building. We did all the grading for the groundwork. Did all the plumbing, all the electrical within, inspections being done. I was actually able to help the electrician and do most things under his supervision.
That's awesome. Yeah, I could probably frame a building if I had to, if it was wood, you know, or commercial, studs, aluminum studs or tin studs. But you guys were hanging steel in a steel building. So how did that go?
Actually, it went quite well, if I might say so. The reason we have the equipment, most of the equipment that we have right now is because we take care of our customers. You have to take care of your people first. And your people have to take care of your customers. We take care of our customers. And our customers have remembered us. And they've had, a lot of these customers had stuff laying around that they weren't using. Or these people that didn't want to pay to have a piece of equipment fixed. And so we were able to acquire that equipment quite reasonable.
It's great.
That's
That's
awesome.
There's nothing we can't do.
That is really, really good. Now, how much are you involved? Actually, for both of you, I'm very curious. How much now are you involved in the shop? Like, what are your responsibilities and how often can you get away?
For myself, I can get away anytime I really want to. I do, for the most part, I reconcile all of the checking accounts, so things of that nature. And if he needs, where I used to go before I turned everything over to him, everything is in a trust in his name right now. And what happens here is I'm not on the payroll, but he pays me rent. And it's worked out very well for us. If he needs something, he knows I'm just right next door.
Mhm.
So I can come and help him out or run after something for him or things of that nature.
Very cool. And TJ?
So I'm here first before anybody else is every morning. But I don't have to be. I can be elsewhere and they still know how to open the doors and make things work. I don't answer the phone. I rarely deal with a customer unless I've got a specific request to deal with somebody or that wants to talk to me. I've got service writer and a shop foreman, and they together run everything. My mom, Dad's wife, comes in, Carolyn. She enters some of the bookwork as far as the bookkeeper goes. I arrange the deposits. Dad takes them down. I keep an eye on the finances as far as what we've got to do. I enter payroll, but we use a payroll company, so it's just sending it to them. But I can easily disappear for a week if I so desire, which is awesome. And that's what made it possible for us to build this building, is because it could run itself and I didn't have to oversee everybody all the time.
Yeah.
So
have,
true stage 4 then, true stage 4.
We have
Very nice.
our crew is very very on top of everything that we do. Like I was saying earlier, first thing you have to do is take care of your health. Because your health is what makes you what you are. That's what gets you where you're at. Okay? And they all know that. And, so it's not an issue to walk away and let them take care of things for a short period of time.
So it's interesting you say that too, because I heard that you guys have a fantastic team working for you. I would love for you guys, if you don't mind, to explain some of your hiring practices and all that, because I know you guys are involved with the work release program up there also. So I'd love to know how all that kind of comes together, if you will, in, you know, how well it's, because it's obviously worked out fantastic. And as you guys know, every shop is always looking to hire. So I'd love to know what your process is with you two guys and how it works.
So basically, I take care of all of that. And one of the big things is not to just grab the first person that comes along. You know, at times you might feel desperate and want to pick up just anybody that you can, but that's not necessarily going to be your right choice. So I always try to vet as much as I can as far as looking for somebody who's going to be a team player and long lasting. I have advertisements that are out there all the time, but I'm not pushing advertisements. For the most part, just the fact of the amount of time we've been here and what we're known for brings people to us.
We know a lot of contractors and so forth, and they've done very well by us by recommending other people. And it has worked out very well in that respect.
And we do, like you had mentioned, we've used the work release program. Actually, 2 of my 5 technicians right now are from the work release program, and they're fully released. They're off of parole, and they are 2 of my top producers. Yes.
Oh,
They-
that's
they're-
fantastic.
Yeah, the people we deal with, they know who we are, they know what we do and how we do things.
Yeah.
And they will not bring anybody to us or recommend anybody that they don't think would fit in our program.
That's
Right,
great.
the guards at the minimum security unit where they come from, they keep their eyes out for the right people that they see that can succeed, and they want to bring them to a place that can help them do that, that doesn't have bad influences in-house.
Wonderful.
Very nice.
I just
Love
want to
it.
mention that Dave Craig is watching, and also Mark Granum is watching, and Dave Jennerjohn is watching, which brings me to the question I had for you. How much of your shop is truly heavy duty right now? Is it all, or do you have a hybrid? Do you do some retail automobile, or what we call general repair work as well?
Yep. We do, it's roughly 50-50. Probably there's 2 technicians completely on the truck side. 2 technicians pretty much, smaller than medium duty, and 1 who does just about everything.
There you go. Very good. Very nice.
Blend. It's a nice blend too. And you can always tell a shop that's doing a lot of heavy duty work when they have a truck side, because that tells you it right there. That's when you know. Nice.
You gotta take, excuse me, you gotta take in consideration, we do the heavy stuff, but everybody that owns heavy stuff, their family has, and they have vehicles that they need to have fixed.
Oh,
And you take
Exactly.
care of the family as well. What goes around comes around. You treat your customers right. You treat your help right. You treat your customers right.
That's amazing. Yeah.
And they remember it.
fantastic points. All about reputation. Reputation will feed you.
Right, that's our advertisement.
Yeah. Word of mouth is the most powerful.
Oh gosh, yeah. God.
It's the one place where public relations and marketing intersect. And there's nothing more powerful than word of mouth. So I totally agree with you guys. Um, hey, I think it's time for a commercial break. Bill, you wanna take it?
Absolutely. Next week, we're going to be talking to Adrian Joseph, and he is from Team IK Auto Works, and he's going to really go over some of the things that he's done. He's got a great mindset in that shop. It's really helped support his steady growth and all that sort of thing. So it's going to be real interesting. He's a younger guy, so it's going to be real interesting to see how he's got that shop up to speed as quick as he did. I'm going to love to hear what he's got to say next week. And of course, also we have our expo happening this year, September 24th through 26th, and we're back in Vegas, baby, at the Westgate.
The
So
Westgate.
it's gonna be a blast.
That's awesome. Thanks, buddy.
Anytime, anytime.
Now I had a question for you, TJ, that because you guys are essentially in a stage 4, the shop is operational. You only are there if you want to be. I love to hear stories about what shop owners who are in this condition do to like edify their lives more and make their life more fulfilling and not just have to be stuck inside a shop. But because I feel like it's a great motivation. Some guys who watch this show might be in a stage 1 or in a stage 2, which is to say that they're a one-man band or they're in the workflow. They're actually working every day doing service writing or doing technical work, and they kind of dream of the day when they don't have to be there if they don't want to be. And one of the things that's so important is having another goal or another thing that you can do with your life that's fulfilling, right? And so what is it you guys like to do now that you don't have to be there all the time, other than build giant steel buildings on your property?
Which that in itself was obviously a nice break, because that is something different.
Yes. Yes.
But to start off with, when we started, it was just the two of us. And, it took quite a long time before I wasn't, I still wrench on some things. Occasionally I go out and do a little bit of road service for, emergency breakdowns and things like that. But that's fairly, we're not going to say rare, but it's not a daily occurrence by any means. One of the things that we've done and have done since, when we started, we're both into Jeeps, and we've been guides for Jeep Jamboree USA for a long time. And we've gone on a lot of different Jeep excursions. We've got several Jeeps each that are built to play off-road. So that's one of the things we have done. And I still do on a regular basis. This weekend, I'm going to New Hampshire with an antique Tucker snowcat to a gathering of snow machines of that kind. Things like that I enjoy. One of the things I had been looking forward to for a long time was getting my pilot's license and flying. And over the course of the years as we've been here, I'd done a lot of work with a local company that has planes and services our local islands, and I was able to get my pilot's license through knowing them, and now I actually do own a plane, and I get to, if we have a good afternoon, I can go take a flight around the area and enjoy.
That's great. Now I know you got a lot of acreage on your space. You have built a few buildings, and do you have your own private runway there too?
I do have enough room in my backfield to land. I have not yet. I've had the plane not quite a year yet, and the field hasn't been in the right condition as far as dry enough and without the hay growing, because another thing that I do, which isn't high on my joy list. Yes, not high on the fun list, but is actually somewhat enjoyable. I hay, we put up about 3,000 to 4,000 bales a year. The wife has donkeys and horses, and we have friends that help us do that who also have horses, so they pitch it. I spend quite a few hours a year myself on tractors and in the field.
Very cool.
And I can do that
That's
during the
fantastic.
week while things are, while the shop is running.
Yeah, very nice.
Oh my God, that's excellent. Actually, TJ, Jenna John says hello.
So Debbie and Dave are
Dave
here.
both were, before they retired and left town, they were in the top 20 with myself and another truck group.
Tell us a little bit about the top 20 and how that's going for you.
So we've had 3 truck groups in it for a while. We haven't had Dave and Debbie with us since the first of the year because they were able to retire and get out. But that has been a great help across the board for all of the groups. And we're looking to add some other truck groups to that. And it's helped in a manner of we're all doing things that we each know. And so if one group is having an issue with something, we talk about it and what the other group, what the other shops do. And we each, put in ideas, and it helps. It helps a lot.
Yeah, the top 20, for anybody that might not know, is a peer-to-peer organization within Drive that's it's part of our program, where you can work with other shops that are like yours to help improve the condition of your shop. So that's what that is. And if you're curious, if you want to know more, you can reach out to us.
It's a fantastic point, Tony, because it's a fantastic, what is a great roundtable. Everybody it loves exchanging ideas and best practices, and it just works so well, and it really does. TJ and Rodney, I'd love to ask this question if you don't mind. With all the people out there that's listening, and all the shop owners that are out there listening, and I would consider you guys wildly successful, like in all phases, wildly successful. And if you had to give 1 or 2 bits of advice to help somebody that's just starting out, probably maybe 1 or 2 techs, and they want to get up to say 3 or 4 or 5, or even expand, what would you guys say? I'd love to hear from either one of you.
Let me answer that one. When we
Please do.
first started, we went to a class someplace, I don't know where it was at, California probably.
Yeah, it was with Management Success.
which is we rebranded to Drive, just so you
Right.
guys know.
Yeah.
But
Around
what I get-
2017 or 18.
what I got out of that program more than anything else, and I tell all of the locals around the area that in the same business, we work with all of the garages around. What I did to start with is when we first started, we didn't have a lot of money. Okay. So from the very first, when we first started, what I did was I took 3% of every dollar that I actually took in, whether the cash, credit card, or whatever, and I put in a savings account. I called that my backup account. And I took another 3% and put in another account and called that my equipment account. So knowing that along the line, we have to buy new equipment, stay up to date with our stuff. And that's one reason why our techs like to work with us, is because when we need something comes up and we need something, we can go and get it. Not a problem. We managed to save enough money to put the next building up without borrowing any money from anybody.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And to me, that's one of the biggest things that anybody can do is put some aside religiously. And you'll be amazed at what you can actually do with that, how much that'll help you out down the road.
And
Yeah,
look
that's
at where you
great.
guys
That's
are
great.
sitting right now. You're sitting on top of your newer building, which is now got a huge conference room. And that room doesn't look small. I don't know if it is big or small, but it doesn't look small. And that's the new addition that you guys just built yourselves.
Yes.
That's just, oh, wow.
And is that enough? And is that upstairs? And then you have
Yes.
the
Yeah.
work
So
facilities below?
yeah, we're above the customer entrance and the front desk in above our office.
Yeah.
This room is 25 by 25.
Nice.
Wow.
This table is 14 feet long.
Yeah, that's really nice. And how often do you guys use it?
So it's used on a daily basis. There's a kitchenette up here also as a break room. But we actually use it for training as far as whether it be a drive Zoom meetings or ASE Zoom meetings.
Mm,
Mhm. That'd be a fantastic space for manager meetings too.
Yes.
Yes.
That'd
That's
be a
great.
fantastic space for that. Yeah.
Now
Very
I have a
nice.
question. I have a question. What do you think? And because I think Rodney touched on it just a second ago. But what do you think of all the time you spent working with Drive? What do you think is the one element of Drive that really had the greatest positive impact on you guys' lives and the condition of the shop?
So there's always room for improvement,
Mhm.
always. And you don't have to make big changes. You have to make consistent little changes in the right direction.
Well said.
It's really, it's that simple, but you've got to make your changes in an educated manner.
Right.
And you need to listen to your employees. They're the ones working on this stuff. And they have ways of doing things that we may not have, or at least myself. I'm not a technician. I'm a
Mhm.
mechanic, but I'm not a technician. Okay. So when they need something and they can explain to us why they need it and how much it's going to help everybody, then we can do something about it.
Yeah, it's great because they're the ones closest to the
Absolutely.
work, and they
Yes.
have probably a little bit. The further back you get from the actual day to day, the less you kind of know what's really going on, and you got to kind of rely on the people that have their finger on the pulse of what's going on, right?
Right. And the other thing to add to that is you want all of our people have buy-in as far as they're all on board with the drive program and and the changes we've made. But that's keeping them aware of what's going on and what we're trying to do.
Yeah. Is there a workshop that you particularly found very effective because you've taken a lot of workshops with us?
I've taken probably most of them, but one, controlling the front and having everybody do it, technicians included.
Yeah.
That way, everybody's on the same pace.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's one of my favorite ones too. Now you can find that in the client portal on the calendar if you're a Drive client. But we've rebranded it as Master and Control the Front of Your Shop because we basically have the two verticals, because right, the GR and the collision. So we put it all into one workshop, and that's controlling the front. That's what he's talking about. And it's called Master and Control the Front of Your Shop. So if you're interested, go ahead and have a look at it. You can also see what the schedule is going to be if you go to driveshops.com. You can see which workshops we have. Anything
Definitely.
else
And
you
if
want
you're
to
having
add, Bill?
trouble finding it, you can always just talk with your coach and he'll get you right there.
Yeah.
And TJ and Rodney, you guys are completely right. That course is the only thing that rivals it is ESM, Essentials of Shop Management. And ESM is a monster course. And that one is a close second. That course is that good.
Yep, I agree.
Yep.
Well, we're getting close to the end of the show. Anything you want to add, Rodney or TJ, before we call it a day?
Actually, one thing is, last time we were out to California for an in-person class, or one of the last times, I was able to pull one over on my dad. We were out there, and we're on the East Coast, we're in Maine, and I was looking for a set of seats for my Jeep. And of course, out in California, manufacturers out there, so we could go a lot of different places and try them. There's no place to try them around here. So we were going a lot of different places, and we pulled up to this one gate for a warehouse in the middle of, looking for things. And I, pushed the button and, and I said, Copeland, 10 o'clock appointment. And then he wasn't really thinking anything about it. So they opened the gate, we pulled in through, and we pull up in between these two warehouses and park. We get out and we walk in, and he looks around and he says, what is this place? A museum? I said, well, sort of. This is Jay Leno's garage.
Oh,
When I turned around and started looking around, here he comes walking down there at us.
How did you pull that off?
No, I had no idea.
So, a good friend of mine, Andy Swift, owns Firefly Restoration. His son is the director of the show, Jay Leno's Garage, and his brother is the head mechanic for Jay Leno's Garage. And
That's awesome.
Yep.
that's fantastic.
And, we had a nice tour, and actually Jay took us around a little bit, and then we had an actual tour guide take us around.
That's beautiful.
You,
And Dad
you brought
didn't
him a
know
little
thing
home.
about it
I had
until we were inside the building.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I love
'cause
that
Jay's
story.
from around here, so you brought him a little home.
Is he he's from Massachusetts, or is he Maine, or where's he from?
Around I think it's Framingham and stuff like that. I think he's near. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Well, wow, we've already got up against the
Oh,
clock,
wow.
folks.
It always goes fast. These great shows always go fast.
Yeah, you guys were great guests. Thank you so much for being on the show. Appreciate that. And until next week, everybody have a great week. And we're out.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.